You're muted.
Oh, you're muted, Adam.
There we go. Hi, everybody. Thanks.
Hi.
Welcome back. So this is this is hour 2 of the Masked One Shot. We've been introduced to our characters. We have one last step. We're going to figure out who has influence over whom. We'll talk about how influence works. So influence in this game is a thing that all adults have over the characters, and some of the characters have over each other. Influence is a way that you can nudge each other to behave a certain way. When someone has influence over you, it means you care about what they say, do, or think. And at any time you can give influence to someone, you can just choose to. You can be like, oh, cool, your opinion really matters to me. I'm going to give you influence over me. When you have influence over somebody, you can take a +1 to any move that's targeting them, including rejecting their influence over you. And when you take advantage of your influence over someone, you surrender that influence, and you can make them take -2 on a roll they just made. So you can make them kind of like fail a roll. You can inflict a condition on them, just whichever one you like. You can be like, cool, I say something mean to you. Now you're angry. Or you can take an additional +1 on a move targeting them. So if you really want to mess with them, you can do that. And when somebody with influence over you tells you who you are or how the world works, you can either accept what they say or reject their influence. If you accept it, then the GM, which is me, will tell you how to adjust your labels. So if someone says to you, like, you're a loose cannon, you're out of control, you're only going to get people killed, why do you even bother using your powers? That person, I'm going to try to affect your labels, I'm going to try to boost your freak and reduce your mundane, right? And you can be like, cool, yeah, they're right, I am a freak, fine. Or you can try to reject their influence, which is a move you can make. And depending on how much you assert your own personality, you can sort of reject what other people think of you. So you'll have some influence over each other. So let's establish that. So there's an order we're going to go around to figure these out, and we're going to start with the bull. We're going to answer this question. So when your team first came together, you defeated a dangerous enemy. Who was this dangerous enemy you defeated together, Riley?
As a team?
Yeah.
Or just anyone?
Yeah, as a team. The first time, like when the team first came together, not just as independent operators, but you know, you took on and defeated a dangerous enemy. Who was it?
I don't think we've talked about this yet, so could I just make something up?
Yeah, it's your responsibility to just make something up. So it could be like a supervillain, it could be like a giant robot, an alien, it doesn't matter, whatever.
Awesome. I have vendetta on the mind, and we went after one of the subsets of the organization that was responsible for kidnapping me when I was a kid, and took down like one of the arms of their org.
Okay, cool. So some like supervillain led arm of a shadowy organization.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Excellent. All right. So Petra, when your team first came together, you destroyed your surroundings in that fight. Where was it? Where did you fight this shadowy organization? And what valuable things or important things did you destroy during this battle?
Yeah, sorry about that. That was probably me. Okay, so actually, Anne, could you just like quickly tell me who these people were to you again?
These are the people this is like a part of the organization that kidnapped me. Like it's a really big worldwide organization.
Got it.
We went after,
Got
like,
it.
a part of it.
So the destruction actually took place in an armory, and probably a great deal of money in value of ammunition and weapons and other things were lost. So they're probably really upset at us because we caused a lot of damage there.
Right. So like a valuable military facility.
Yeah.
With lots of armaments. Okay. Yeah, that sounds dangerous. Cool. Okay. Now, when the team first came together as part of this, you saved the life of someone important, either to the city or to you as a group. Hemlock, who was that? Who is that person, and why are they important?
We saved the mayor.
Okay, thank you.
We saved you, Adam.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam. Because it was the right thing to do, right? Number one, we can't let any innocent civilian die, but also because if we're gonna fight this, we're like the new age of superheroes, right? We have to live up to the people who came before us, and there's 9 generations of superheroes that have all been before us, and this is kind of our chance. And so if anybody is going to believe in us, it has to be the person who controls the police force and the whatever, and the person who has the ability to say, like, you guys are either allowed or you're outlaws. And so by saying the mayor, we kind of, for as much as we fumble and fall and kind of ruin things every now and then, he has to know that our intentions are good, and he has to know that we're doing the best we can to do the right thing, even if it backfires sometimes.
So do you know why, or maybe you don't know, but do you know why the mayor was at this shadowy organization military facility when all this stuff went down? Why did the mayor need saving in this instance?
Because there's obviously, they know that these people exist, right? There's no lie when kids go missing, or when there's villains that are around. The government's always going to try to, and the city is always going to try to find out where it comes from, right? And so the mayor, kind of taking his own police work, he's very active in what's going on in his city, says, like, we need to figure out what this is, we need to get to the bottom of this, and we need to be there. And he happens to just kind of be one step behind us, unfortunately. And
right. I like this action mayor. Like, there's a police activity and he just threw on the vest and he was there. He was in it.
Listen, man, he knows his city in and out.
I like it.
You're a
cool.
badass
All right.
mayor, Adam. I don't know what
so you save the mayor. And you save the mayor because it's important. It's like there's a symbol of like your commitment to doing good stuff.
Yeah.
However, you totally broke some major rules to win that fight. Delinquent. Lex, what rules did you break, and whose rules were they?
How far back do you want us to go, Adam? Because I'm pretty sure how that mayor got elected had to do with a lot of like fraudulent votes that someone may or may not have put into the system.
So do you suspect that the mayor is involved with this shadowy organization in some way?
No, I'm saying that I think someone put the mayor in charge because they thought the mayor could handle this.
Okay, and what rules did you personally as a group break to win that battle? Right, like you wouldn't have won except that, I don't know, maybe you personally you bent the rules a little bit. What did you do? What did you have to do to like win that fight?
Well, like I said, the mayor that wasn't as competent as we may have suspected shouldn't have been there. We also made sure other people weren't there. Did this through creating a lot of faux problems around the city so that people's minds would be distracted. Send up a lot of reports on people's TV stations saying that explosions that were happening in like this corner of that corner of the city. Send out a lot of distress calls. At the time, it seemed like the right thing to do, but it might have pulled superheroes away from more important problems. But I mean, we needed a distraction. The mayor's messed up. Maybe we've messed up.
Interesting.
It's complicated.
This conspiracy goes way deep. I'm into it. Cool. All right. So let's talk influence. So why don't we start with the bull? So let's talk about we know your relationships, right? So we've talked about who your love and who your rivals are. Do you want to read those relationship statements there?
Sure. So for love, what do you mean the statements?
Oh, the one it should be on the left side of the second page of your character sheet, down near the bottom where it says relationships. It's like blank is your love, that one.
Right. So Hemlock in this situation would be my love. You've opened up to them about the worst parts of your past.
Okay.
Hemlock is the one who did kind of more of the digging and like asking about more details about what happened when I was a kid. And we've got Petra as my rival. Says they've tried to control you at a crucial moment. So as I mentioned earlier, Petra, being the older sister figure, wants to keep me safe and tries to prevent me from getting myself hurt because I'm kind of headstrong.
Okay. And so for influence, you're selective about who you let in. So only your love and rival have influence over you.
Mm-hmm.
So Hemlock and Petra on your character sheets, you can put that you have influence over Riley. So Riley Rampage cares what Hemlock and Petra think of her. Cool. All right, Lex, do you want to read your relationships for me?
So my relationships are: you keep trying to impress X with your antics, and you and X pull an awesome, if legal, stunt together. And so Riley really cares what Hemlock and Petra think of her. So I kind of want to be there too. So I keep trying to impress Riley, but
Right.
she's always there first. She's always like throwing punches first before I'm there. I'm not really sure if she looks behind to make sure the team's even there before she starts throwing punches. So it's really hard to impress someone that doesn't necessarily have their eyes on you. So Riley for that one. And then I think that me and Hemlock pulled an awesome stunt together. And it was really just about, changing people's minds at our high school. So Hemlock, you're in IT, but are we at the same high school?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So one of the times that I met Hemlock, this guy was just giving her a bunch of grief, just like, telling her that she
Bully.
can't. Sorry?
He's a bully.
Yeah, dude, he was a bully. Like, Hemlock was just asking a question for clarification in a class, and then this guy started getting on her, saying that she doesn't know anything about the language we were using, why is she in this class? The teacher probably does all the assignments for her. And so I immediately put him in his place. And I was like, if you don't stop right now, like, I'm going to stop writing your Python. And then I roll my eyes, like, who needs someone to write Python scripts for you? I was like, I'm going to stop writing your Python assignments for you. And by the way, I'm charging you double. And so we decided to get together and just use both of our influences and use all of our powers to promote a bunch of women that we knew in our school, like on the school's front page. And we just really helped change the atmosphere of the school, to kind of put this, because it's kind of a popular opinion for some reason. There was this bully, but there was a bunch of other guys that felt the same way. So we just tried to change the tides and the currents of our school by promoting me, her, a bunch of other women that were, winning awards for their programming.
Cool. Counter bullying.
Yeah.
I like it. So for your influence, you care way more than you let on. Everyone else in the group has influence over you. So everybody on your character sheet, make sure you note that you have influence over Lex. Cool. All right. So the Janice, Hemlock, you want to read your relationships?
Yeah, under my relationships, there's 2 blanks, and it's that one person knew me from civilian life first.
Okay.
That would have been Lex.
Yep.
And then it said you refused to tell blank your secret identity as well when they asked, and it's kind of convoluted because I kind of denied it to everybody, right? And so,
but yeah, this is a person who specifically was like, I know you have a secret identity. Who really are you? And you were like, you refused to tell them. Who was that?
It's outside the group, right? Or does it have to be inside?
It can be inside the group too.
Well, outside the group, it would have been Clyde, 100%, because he figured it out, right? Like, I'm coming and going at night. I come back with like burnt, smoke, cinder, and crap on me, and he's like, "What do you like? You were studying at the library. Why do you have like cinder burns in your shirts and crap? And like, what are you doing?" And I finally have to be like, listen.
God, I love that it's the other way around. It wasn't that someone asked the superhero version of you. Someone was like, you're a superhero. I know it. Who are you? And you're like, nah.
Yeah. I mean, he's down, right? Like, he knows. Yeah. He's into it. There's kind of like, you got a lot of time as a doorman. You observe a lot of things. You see a lot of things coming and going, right? If your job is to people watch all day and you know who comes in and out of the building and you see people's pattern change, obviously something has to happen, right? So I go through this traumatic thing where I've like been shot and I'm recovering and whatever. And like now all of a sudden I'm like out at random hours lying about where I am. Like obviously something has gone down.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So you look up to your teammates. They seem to have this superhero thing pretty much figured out.
Yep.
Give 2 of them influence over you.
Riley.
Okay. So Riley take influence over Hemlock.
Yeah. Just because she was kind of there when the traumatic part of it happens, right?
Yep. You care what she thinks.
Yeah, she's got to be the person that like brought me into the group. There's like some kind of like unspoken bond there. And then I would say that the other influence would be Petra.
Okay.
Because Lex and I know each other, right? We're familiar.
You see Lex more as a peer in the mundane world.
Yeah, we connect a lot more like on a peer-to-peer level, like on a kind of sisterly bond. And then there's Petra, who's like look at her, right?
Mhm.
She's like amazing, and she's
they're-
like the old one, and she has this figured out, right? Like, I'm coming in to like be super.
Hear that, Petra?
Sorry, who are you calling old?
Yeah, you're old now. Good job. Way to be the old one.
You're the old one. Thanks.
She's like a year older than everyone, which when you're like 18, anyone who's like 3 months older than you is like old, right?
That's true.
She's
So-
almost 20.
Yeah, ancient.
She's in her 20s. Guys,
Not
she can
even a
almost buy us
teenager.
beer. So she's
Okay.
kind of the other one that's like
All
the
right.
big sister mom kind of.
So the two of you have influence over Hemlock. So if Ori's doing something that you don't like, you can be like, no, chill the fuck out. Cool. All right. And then lastly, your relationships, Petra or Nova. You want to read those for us?
Yeah, so I actually have given influence to all three of them because basically Petra is very hopeful that we can all sort of find like control in our place, and I think as a team we have the best chance of doing that. So I'm kind of there to try to pay attention to how everyone's doing. I'm not very good at it, but I'm trying.
So everybody in the group cares what you think of them, and they listen carefully when you talk.
Yeah, and I try to kind of gauge how they're feeling if they're not being totally upfront with me, especially Riley, who's obviously like a complete like stonewall. And I try to connect with them, and I try to feel like I can be there as like a guide for them, even though I don't really know myself what it is that I'm really doing still.
So you're choosing when you get your influence, you choose a demeanor. You're choosing happy facade rather than locked down.
Yeah, I would call it happy, but it's probably less happy and just a bit more hopeful, because I don't want to just be, ridiculous Disney style.
Okay.
I don't think I would, but
So everybody takes influence over
Everyone.
over Petra. Yeah, all three of you.
Interesting.
So Petra cares what you think of her too.
I would say that for all of us, Petra looks like she knows exactly what she's doing. Like everything she does, it looks
Looks
planned.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole city's going to be leveled by the end of this game. Cool.
It's a
Okay.
one shot. It's fine.
And for your relationships, you hang out all the time with someone to blow off steam. Who is that?
I'd say that I hang out all the time with Riley just because.
Yeah, probably the two
yeah.
tough super ladies just smoking cigarettes, blowing stuff up, just hanging out, being cool.
I look old enough to buy beer, so
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. But I think like the fact that she's so hard, it kind of makes me almost feel soft, and that's a change for me. So she kind of takes the edge off of me. She makes me feel a bit relaxed, unless
Which is great because she
goes
sees
off
you as
the
a
handle.
rival too.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that when she goes off the handle, that's when I'm just kind of like, okay, now you're kind of making me on edge. Now I kind of.
You
Right?
want her to be unstable, so you feel good about yourself, but not so unstable it gets you in trouble.
Yes.
It's good.
I
Nice.
am
Petra running around being like,
overbearing.
"Let me love you. Let me love
Okay,
you."
and
I'm the overbearing sister who needs to have that fine line of control.
right, you can be exactly as much of a loose cannon as I say you can.
Exactly.
Okay, and you once hurt someone, one of the people in the group, when you lost control of your powers. Who was it?
Oh, actually, I was gonna have Riley for that too.
It's valid to have both. It's
Is
hard to
it?
hurt Riley.
It is,
That's a
and
big
I
deal.
think okay. So we kind of talked about this a little bit, but basically, there was a time where we were kind of just on our own, just a duo before the team was a team, and we were taking care of some thugs, some of these extremists, because we keep trying to root them out, but they keep cropping back up, and I was throwing a car, as you do.
Like you do with your mind.
I just missed a little bit. It
Right.
happens. It's fine.
hit Riley
And
with a
it
car.
kinda hit Riley. It's fine.
It's totally
Just a
cool.
scratch. Just a scratch. So yeah, she did get hurt, but she kind of didn't let on to how much. And the fact that not just herself, but also kind of her mentality, her approach to things being so like, it's fine, made me feel better. But at the same time, I'm just constantly paranoid that I'm gonna do it again, but this time it's gonna be worse.
I feel like if you accidentally hurt Riley, you would go home to find your apartment has been ripped out of the building and thrown into the ocean.
Yeah. Pretty much. And the other thing too is that she kind of doesn't let me forget about it, because even though it doesn't really bug her, or at least she says it doesn't. Sometimes she just brings it up, and it just, I don't know why you keep bringing it up, but you know, like, you can't all like just keep living in the past, you know. So
Just
maybe
funny
feel
how
guilty.
just funny how you can hit people with cars and then move on, right?
It was an
I was impressed. So
it was an
Yeah.
accident.
Uh,
Okay.
All right. So before we start, at the start of every session of the game, the GM adds a team point to the pool. So this game has a pool of tokens. I've got a little token on the Roll20 board that you can see there. You can use these team tokens during the game. Here, I'll move it in. Yeah, there it is. And right now you have one, because we start the game with one in the pool. You can use these to get a +1 bonus to someone else's roll if you can explain how you help them. So for example, like if someone's doing something difficult, you can say, I'm going to spend a team point and give them a +1 by helping in this way. Or you can spend team to act selfishly. So you can say how your actions ignore or insult your teammates, remove a team from the pool, and you can shift your labels. You can do this after you've rolled too. So if you're like, no, I need to be more dangerous for this roll, I'm going to do something selfish, and you can remove a point from the pool. You'll get more points in the pool when you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, and you'll get more if the leader has influence over every teammate. So you're on a good track there. Everyone has the same purpose in the fight. If any team member mistrusts the leader or the team itself, you'll remove a point. And if the team is ill-prepared or off balance, we'll remove a point. So those will go up and down, and you can use those to get bonuses as we go on. So that and influence will help you do that stuff, and all of that's on the basic moves sheet that I gave you, and you can find it in Roll20 in the handout section too. So let's talk about setting the stage for issue 1. So I figure the cover of issue 1 is probably one of those cool 90s hologram covers of everybody. You can get like a variant cover, and each one like focuses on a different character, but they're really really fancy. And the first page, after you get past the like Hostess fruit pie ad, the first page is like a big glossy picture of Halcyon City from a distance. Maybe it looks like it was like shot from an airplane or a helicopter or something, and you can see the glittering waters of Halcyon Bay. The big like tower, you see Bailey Tower off in the background, and the text at the beginning of the issue says, "Visit beautiful Halcyon City." And when you turn the page, it's got a closer up picture of the bay. So the page is split into 3 panels, and it's like you can see like some attractive people like water skiing in the background, and some kids playing on a beach, and everyone like having a great time. And it's like visit our scenic beaches. And then the second panel has like some people in like lab coats pouring stuff between beakers, and it's like attend a class at Halcyon University. And then the third panel is a bunch of like really elegantly dressed people coming out of a theater, and there's limos, and you know everybody's like looking glamorous, and it's like attend a show at the famous Chinese theater. And then the next page, the first panel, is the outside of the Halcyon City Natural History Museum. So it's got these big kind of Greek-looking columns and the big like triangular top, and it says visit our many cultural attractions. And then the next panel is basically the same, but there's a huge explosion, and there's like rubble and debris flying everywhere. And in the very next panel, there is an enormous Tyrannosaurus Rex standing outside the Natural History Museum. It's just smashed its way out the front. There's rubble everywhere. It's like roaring at the sky, and it's wearing a harness made out of like leather and metal. It's got 2 big like laser cannons mounted on its shoulder, and riding on its back, there's this like bright blue like kind of lizard man looking guy. He's got a big feather like headdress, and he's holding a spear over his head. And on the next page, it's one of those big two-page spreads. We can see there's just like chaos around. There's like a bunch of cop cars. Some of them are flipped over. Some of them are on fire. There are like police kind of cowering behind them. And the whole front area of the Natural History Museum is just covered in these like blue lizard men. And some of them have ray guns, and they're shooting at people. People are running, screaming. And then this Tyrannosaurus is just tearing up the place. Like he's just chewing on like a cab somewhere. And on the next page, one of you we see you running into the scene. Who is it? I have an idea in my head who it might be, but who's like the first one in the fray to deal? You're ready to like deal with this situation.
I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder who it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Again.
Charging
Again.
Punch everything.
So
even
yes. So Riley, what do we see? Like, are you what do we see you doing when we first see Riley rampage?
So I am just charging into the scene, trying to get people out of the way, yelling at them, you know, get out of here, get out of here. Like, obviously they're all in danger and like scattering anyway, but still like screaming as I like run in to attack this T-Rex.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you're charging in, people are fleeing, and you're just like beelining for this giant laser mounted dinosaur. Okay, cool. So where Petra, where are you when this is happening?
I would be standing probably just a bit behind wherever she had just started bolting. And I'm going to start following her, of course, shouting, Riley, we talked about this. Come on.
Okay. All right. Lex and Hemlock, where are the two of you?
I hopped up on top of a building and I have like a laptop out. I'm just like sitting there with my knees up. Yeah, like on it. And I'm trying to get into like a nearby billboard or something like that so I can start trying to provoke the guy that's on the T-Rex.
Sure. Yeah. And you've got up on your laptop screen maybe a bunch of different news feeds. There's a news helicopter flying by, and underneath it's like Tyrannosaurus terror at the Natural History Museum. And like, you know, someone's like filming and there's like, you know, your Twitter feed up on the side with all the like hashtags like T-Rex terror and stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course. I might be like taking pictures and posting them to Twitter.
Right. And Hemlock,
RT for more.
Hemlock, where are you?
I was standing with Petra and Riley when they like both just started bolting, and I'm not as brave as Petra, so she starts taking off, and I'm like just kind of like looking around, like, what am I don't not have powers. I can't explode. Like, I can't run into the heat of battle. So I like start kind of slowly like trying to make my way there while like not being directly in the path of like these lizard men, like kind of being more discreet about what I'm doing because my powers aren't. I can't just run in and blow things up.
Sure. So you're kind of lost. Kind of like, you're lost in this crowd of panicking people.
As typical, like I'm like the little sister who gets forgotten all the time. Like, oh, we left her at home. All right. So like I'm just there they go again. Like, God dang it.
Right.
So like, I'm just kind of like trying to sneak up to like get to them without like running straight into danger.
Sure. So this is like a shot of this panel is of you kind of like lost in the crowd being like, guy, trying to like catch up. And then the next page is, I assume, like a full page of Riley and the Tyrannosaurus. What does that look like? How do you go after this T-Rex, Riley?
Well, I want to go after the guy on top of the T-Rex.
Okay.
So my thinking is that if there's piled up rubble and stuff, I'm going to find a way to like climb up on top of the boulders and like the kind of smoking, you know, remains of the building and stuff, and try and get on top of the T-Rex.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you climb up onto a pile of sort of miscellaneous rubble. It's probably like a delivery van flipped over on top of a broken piece of column. And yeah, you come running up the top, and yeah, the Tyrannosaurus and his handler, I don't think they necessarily notice you right away. So you come up to the top of it, and as the T-Rex is turning around, you want to like leap onto its back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So
it's like reins, right? Like I could kill the lizard man or get rid of or somehow apprehend him.
Yeah, he's got a little like little seat with like reins, and he's you know shouting at this Tyrannosaurus.
Awesome.
And actually, I guess in the panel, that's probably what we get as you're like running up to jump towards him. He's screeching to some like pterodactyl riders that are like flying around overhead. And the speech bubble, we just get like squiggly lines and dots and like obviously like weird hieroglyphics. And then underneath in the box, the translation is like, "My brothers and sisters, we are free from our underground prisons. Destroy the humans." And and so then the shadow of you kind of falling towards him. I think in this case you are directly engaging a threat. So why don't we have you roll your danger?
Cool. Can I do the punch everyone active move, which is when I charge into a fight without hedging your bets, you can shift your danger up and another label down?
Yeah. So what do you want to shift down?
So I'll do danger up, and then is this like a permanent change?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Oh, so can I do that? I only do that once, like, or is it?
You can do it every time the move fits.
Okay.
If you're already at 3, and you shift your label, you'll take a condition. Conditions are bad. So
Okay.
once you're at 3, you're kind of maxed out unless you're willing to take a
Perfect. Okay, so I'll shift my danger up 1, and then I'll do mundane down 1, -1.
Okay. All right. So you're leaving mundane concerns behind to go and.
I mean, I'm jumping on top of a T-Rex.
Yeah.
So, all right, and then do I use the roll next to the punch everyone move?
Use the one next to your danger stat.
Danger. Okay.
And that'll roll. It'll ask you if you need to modify it at all, which you don't. Okay. All right. So there are three kinds of results. You'll get a miss, which is bad. Lets me make a move. You'll get a 10 or better, which is I forget what it's called in this, but it's basically the best result you can get. It's a full hit. Most of the time, though, you're going to get a 7 to 9, which is just a regular hit. So there's going to be some choices to make. So on this move, directly engaging a threat, you get to choose one of these things. So you can resist or avoid an attack. So the T-Rex is going to fight back. You can take something from them. So you want to take the T-Rex. I think this is the one you're aiming for. You can create an opportunity for someone else, or you can impress, surprise, or frighten your opposition. So you pick one, and it means you don't get the other ones, essentially.
Okay. So if I choose the second one of like taking control, does that mean that I get to throw the lizard man from the T-Rex?
Yes, it would mean that, but it also means that you're not resisting or avoiding being attacked. So you'll get hit in the process, which will mean stuff. But you got to make it. What's that?
I would get hit by the lizard guy.
The lizard man, probably. Yep.
I'm gonna take my chances. Let's do that.
Okay. All right. So I think you leap from the rubble, crash into the lizard man. His little feathered headdress goes flying, feathers everywhere, and the two of you tumble off the side of the T-Rex, and you're both tangled up in the reins. So you fall to the side, and he stabs you with his spear. And rather than it's not like a jabbing sharp spear, it's more like a taser on a stick. So he hits you, and blue lightning bolts flash out of the edge of it, and course through you. So we get a panel of you gritting your teeth with this lightning zapping around you. So I need you to actually, I'm going to give somebody else an opportunity. So you are you're getting zapped by this guy. You will get control of the T-Rex. You'll knock him off. But I want to give somebody an opportunity to jump in. Petra, yeah, you can see your friend Riley here fighting this guy getting electrocuted.
Yeah, I need to charge up my powers right away. The second I see her get anywhere close to this, and then with the stabbing and no, that's not okay. So I immediately charge up my powers.
Okay, so you want to burn?
Yeah.
Okay, so on your character sheet, you should have a section specifically for burn. It'll be on the right. There's a little D20 next to it.
Yeah. So do I just click that?
Yeah, go ahead and click that, and that'll generate your power for you.
No situational bonus, right?
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so you got a 9. So when you burn, you generate points you can spend to use your flares. So your burn on a 7 to 9, I think you get 1 or 2. Let me take a look.
It just says I mark a condition on a 7 to 9.
All right. So what condition do you want to mark? They're right above your.
I think I'm gonna mark angry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So conditions, you'll get them pretty common.
No, sorry, afraid. If I
can. Yeah, you want to take afraid instead.
Yeah, I'm worried that she's gonna get herself even worse hurt. So. Cool.
So yeah, we'll throw conditions around pretty regularly. You'll get them as a result of all kinds of actions. They give you a -2 to certain kinds of moves. So if you're afraid, you're at -2 to directly engage. So you're gonna have to try to fight indirectly. And then to clear your conditions, you have to do something specific in the scene. So to get rid of afraid, you have to run from something difficult. Otherwise, you'll stay afraid into the next.
Oh, I get it. Okay. No, I do want to go with angry then, if that's the case.
Okay. Yep.
I'm mad at her, but I'm also afraid. I don't really. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, so go ahead and mark angry, and to clear angry, you're gonna have to hurt someone or break something important before the end of the scene.
Not Riley.
That's fine. So now with my burn, I want to. Do I have burn? Do I have burn points?
Yeah, I added 3 to your sheet for you.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just describe what that looks like. What does it look like when you burn? We haven't seen it for the before.
So I'm gonna I'm using my reality storm.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, everything on the ground and all like loose objects sitting above the ground just start to tremble. It's almost like a miniature earthquake, but you can't really quite tell where it's coming from. But it does feel very localized. And then like light lampposts start to wave and around around the whole area,
Mm-hmm.
and then it almost feels as though light is breaking apart. So it's almost like light everywhere is shimmering. You can't really quite tell why, but it looks very gold. And then I basically, whatever's close by to this T-Rex, I'm going to lift it up and throw it right at the guy's face.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we see Petra activate her powers, and things start to get real. Since you had to take a second to charge up, it means that Riley, you're gonna take that powerful blow. So you're gonna roll to take a powerful blow. When you get hit hard, you roll plus your conditions. You don't have any yet, so just click the D20 next to conditions, and it'll ask you if you need to add anything, which you don't. And then we'll see how you do. So this is kind of the like getting hurt move, because the characters don't have like hit points or anything. Did you find, and do you know where I need you to click? Did you find it on the sheet?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were still talking to Petra.
No, that's okay. It's you. Yeah.
I lost my character sheet somewhere in all my tabs. I was trying to find it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Conditions.
Yeah.
Cool. And I'm marking which one of them? Am I choosing one?
So you don't actually mark a condition. You're taking a powerful blow. So it's just like the move you rolled before.
It's on the left-hand side.
Yeah, on the left next to conditions.
I see. I can't.
She's too angry. She can't focus. She's just
getting electrocuted.
punching everything.
I'm rolling the die.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I totally
okay.
thought you were talking to Petra.
It's okay. So you got a 2. Now, if you fail, you get to mark basically this game's version of experience. So underneath that, under potential, just mark the first one. This is like your XP.
Right.
So you're gonna learn something. You learned something about your potential to get electrocuted by a lizard man. So he stabs you with a spear. There's a bright flash of light. And what's cool is on this move, taking a powerful blow, you actually want to roll low because it means it doesn't impact you as much. So on a miss, you stand strong, mark potential as normal, and say how you weather the blow. So we get to see Riley Rampage get hit with a lightning spear that would have killed any mortal man, but it doesn't. You blow through it. What does it look like when that happens?
Cool. And I'm taking over the T-Rex.
Yeah, and you can describe your finishing your action. So this is you getting electrocuted, but it not being a big deal. You're hanging by your feet with this lizard man trying to get rid of you, and then you seize control of the Tyrannosaurus.
Cool. So as he like stabs me with the electricity, and he is assuming that that's going to be enough to kind of disarm me or prevent me from fighting him. But we're kind of tussling as we're hanging from the reins of this T-Rex. And I kind of have wrestled him free, and while he's still like trying to electrocute me, and he's like holding it into my abdomen, like assuming that it's going to hurt me. And I like grab him kind of by the shoulders, and I just say, "Petra, catch!" and I throw him toward the ground where she's like standing.
Okay, cool. So Petra, do you want to activate your you want to use your burn now? You want to use that ability?
Yeah, so
is it reality storm time?
It is.
Okay.
So this guy got thrown down off of the T-Rex?
Yeah, he's hurling through the air towards you presently.
Okay, sweet. So I pick up the closest car I like doing that. And I literally just throw it so that he kisses it with his whole body.
Yeah, he crashes into the car. Okay. Perfect. So you just levitate a car and he smashes into it. Okay. So I think in this case, you don't actually have to use Reality Storm. This is more just invoking your powers. So you're going to unleash your powers to overcome an obstacle. So go ahead and roll plus freak. So
got it.
Click next to freak. All right.
That happens a lot.
Yep. So mark potential. Petra has rolled a 6, which means I get to make a move now. I think what happens is when you and this will roll right into what's going to happen with Hemlock. So what happens is you reach out with your powers and you grab like a nearby police car, yank it up in the air, and as you do, you crush it a little bit. You grab it maybe a little too hard. The lizard man
I'm really angry. So
yeah, the lizard man comes sailing into it, still flickering with lightning, crashes into it, and hits underneath. And because it's a comic book and it's a card, there's a massive explosion, and it throws burning chunks of car everywhere. And I think Lex, from where you're sitting, you can see this like burning cop car like door coming flying like a razor sharp frisbee towards there's a man and his son trying to like get out of the crowd. They're trying to like run, and this car door is coming flying towards them. You can also see where Hemlock is moving in the crowd. She's pretty close to them. Lex, what do you do?
Well, as I'm deciding, I'm kind of like orienting my laptop at it to like catch it. I can't really do anything to stop that with my character. So it's just really basic, all superheroes, they do basic things sometimes. I yell at them to get out of the way, and I yell at Hemlock to let her know what's happening. And I'm like just still typing away.
Okay. Hemlock, you hear Lex shout. You wouldn't have noticed it before, but you hear Lex shout, and you look over and you see this guy and his kid. And his kid's like falling down, like one of his shoes is falling off, and the kid's crying, and the dad's trying to pick him up, and they're blissfully unaware of the shrapnel on its way. What do you do?
Because I know that I can use like air. We have all of the pterodactyls that are flying, and I try to like take just the energy from the wind and push it up towards one of them to like deflect it and try to take something out while saving these people.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like you're doing two things. You're defending, and then depending on how that goes, you might be unleashing your powers to attack on them. So let's have you roll to defend someone or something from an immediate threat. So you're gonna roll plus your savior.
Okay. Did it work? Wait, hold on. Oh, there we go.
Nice. All right. Nice. Good work.
Oh,
good job.
So for an NPC threat on a hit, you keep them safe, and you get to choose one of these three things. Do you want to add another team point to the pool? Take influence over someone you protect, which in this case would be like those two, like the family. Mm-hmm. Or if you had a condition, you could clear it. I think at this point, adding team to the pool probably makes the most sense. But
so if I choose to protect the two of them, what is the...
You have already, that's a given, but as a bonus, you get to add a team point to the pool or take influence over them. So later you can like you...
let's add a team point to the pool.
Yeah, a team point? Okay, I'll copy one.
Yeah.
There you go. So now y'all have two.
Done.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So first, the spinning piece of car comes flying towards these people. Do they notice that you've just saved them, or is this just like you stop it behind them?
Well, I think if I get to then use an extra point if I use the I save you, right? Because it says I'm willing to keep other people safe if I like reveal to them who I am. Then it has a more positive action towards something else.
Okay, so are you still in your, I guess this is the question, are you still in your like civilian garb?
No, I don't have my hood with me, but I have my hood on. We're full superhero. We're all out superhero.
Okay, all right.
This is a kid. This kid was me, and I feel it, and this kid needs a hero to look up to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's, in this case, let me see how you're, I'll save you. Yeah, so this would be if you were a human, and if you're in your like human guise, not your superhero one, and you revealed your secret identity, you would be able to automatically have done it. But you rolled well enough; you don't need to do that. And I
Okay.
think the kid like looks up and just like wide-eyed like stares at you, and you get your like arms out and your wind hurling around.
Yeah.
And he just points. He's like, "Dad, look!" And of course, his dad is staring at your Nova
Booth?
friend,
Oh,
staring
got
at
it.
Petra. He's staring at Petra, who's just like hover terrifying.
Okay.
There's just this big explosion. And he doesn't even like look over at you, but the kid is just like, "Whoa, you saved us."
Do I
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah, totally.
I think I yelled again too. I'm still looking at the programming, but like I see it through my monitor, I see the kid's reaction while I'm still like trying to hack into this billboard. And I'm like, no, it was Hemlock Kid, the one over there beside you.
So now you wanna try to take down one of the pterodactyls that's flying around.
Yeah.
Hemlock?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's have you unleash your power. I think in this case you're directly engaging the threat because they know you're around.
Okay.
So for directly engaging a threat, you're going to roll plus danger.
Okay.
And your danger is not very good, is it?
No.
All right. So
Close.
So here's the thing, right? If you want to be able to bump that success up to like a 7, someone can spend a point from the pool. Someone can spend a team point, explain how they help. That'll get you up 1 point. If someone else also does it, you can spend both your points to do that. Or someone with influence over Hemlock can reinforce the idea that Hemlock actually is kind of dangerous. You can use your influence to help her out.
I'd like to do that. I'd like to use my influence over Hemlock.
Okay.
And, so I feel like I would have been aware of what she just did because, of course, any like elemental or like molecular movement in the area, I'm going to be aware of it with my telekinetic ability. So when I feel her move the wave of air, I turn around and I encourage her. So, yeah, that's it. Just push it further, and then you can.
Right, you're trying to
encouraging
Up
big
into the air.
sister.
Yeah, you're encouraging her to
But
be
I'm not
dangerous.
very good at it. I'm just
Yeah, you're basically just telling her like, yeah, stop holding back, like just go nuts.
Let go.
Okay, so I guess the question becomes: you hear that, like you're getting ready to like fire at this pterodactyl, and you've got a lot of self doubt, like you're not going to be able to do it. You're flinching a little bit, Hemlock, and then Petra basically is just trying to reassure you that like, yeah, if you go nuts here, it'll be great. Do you accept her influence? Or you like, do you believe what she says that you can be dangerous, or do you want to reject it?
No, I'm gonna accept it because we're
Yeah.
we're in the midst of fighting, and Riley's still on the T-Rex fighting. Right? There's other lizard men that are around. We have all
You
these
gotta
like
rise to the occasion.
I don't have the opportunity to fail right now. Like we have too many things to worry about. I have to take these. I have to help. I have to take something out.
All right. So Petra has indicated that she wants your danger to go up by 1. But Petra, what's the cost? What label goes down?
Oh, is this like a permanent thing?
Yeah, every label shift is permanent.
Oh no. I don't know what all of these are for her. So I guess her freak goes down.
Yeah. So it's about being dangerous but in control. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 1. Now someone else will have to back Hemlock up to make this not a disaster. Who is it?
This is hard because Riley is taking a blow, and I'm really concentrating on something else, and I don't have influence over her.
Yeah, you can spend. The other one is that you can spend the team point.
Can we spend the team point that I just got?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
let's do that.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. So who's gonna help?
Petra.
Can I? I know I just spoke.
You're already using your influence. If you can explain how your help is different, then yeah, you can.
Does what I say like bolster her with confidence? How I like give her the credit with the kid, maybe?
I don't know. Let's find out. Hemlock, does that having Lex like watch you and like being aware of what's going on, does that help you focus?
Yeah, I mean, between being able to say like you may have like not deflected this, that you saved that kid and we need your help. Like kind of all of the support and the reassurance that I get is just helping me being like, stop being a little wussy, like just do this.
Okay, cool. All right. So between those two things, between the team working together and basically Petra helping you realign the way you think about yourself, you turn that failure into a 7 and 9. So you've got to pick one of these things. So you can resist or avoid the pending counterattack. You can take something from them, which would be like knocking the pterodactyl out of the sky and getting rid of that as a thing. You can create an opportunity for someone else, or you can impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. Which of those things do you want to take?
If I surprise them, what happens? Do I just have to, I don't know what happens? Yeah,
you just, I'll tell you what happens, but you can choose to impress, surprise, or frighten them. And yeah.
I am going to, if I impress them, it means that basically they're like, oh God, now we have like an actual threat, right?
Yeah. And it'll be you specifically.
I'm going to do that.
Okay, so you get all of their attention that despite Petra's floating and earthquake abilities and the massive punches by Riley. Suddenly, yeah. So what does that look like? How do you get the attention of all of the reptiloids that have escaped?
I mean, so far they've had like an earthquake, which doesn't have any source, and they've got like the Queen of Punches over there, right? Which is like a punch is a punch, but you've now got someone who's like hurling things through the air that they're seeing, and now kind of all of their attention, you see like the lizard men that are like on the ground, they kind of like turn their attention, and the pterodactyls kind of start like swirling like hawks would do like in the sky when they see a threat down on the ground. And so they're all kind of, now the focus is like away from kind of Riley on this T-Rex and away from Petra, and they've not even noticed Lex yet, but now I seem to be the kind of source of like all
the eye of the storm.
Yeah, like even though that's not real, because all the focus is on me because I have the most visible like hurling crap across the sky.
Yeah, and I think people are scattering, and like random bits of debris are kind of like rolling around on the ground towards you, and there's this little like ring of sort of garbage that's like formed around you, and now definitely all of the like lizards and stuff look at you as the biggest threat. You've knocked some of the pterodactyls out of the sky, but yeah, you see the rest of them start to charge, and I guess everybody else sees this too. There's about a dozen of these little kind of like blue or green reptiloids. Some of them have ray guns, some of them have spears, and now they're all converging. We get the sort of top-down helicopter shot of them rushing towards Hemlock, who's standing in the middle. Riley,
thank God I have a hood, man.
Thank God for that.
And also, that hood.
So Riley, you've now wrestled control. We cut back to you, and there's a panel of you kind of like wresting control of this Tyrannosaurus, and you've got the reins, and there's like a couple of joysticks on the back of its like saddle that you guess control the laser cannons that's on its shoulders, and it's basically just kind of like stalking around looking for something to chew on. What do you want to do?
Right. We can all hear each other, right? Like if I wanted to yell to Lex, I could do that.
I think so, yeah.
No worries. Okay, cool. So I just like, I'm looking at this like complicated panel of things in front of me, and I just like am yelling at Lex that I need your help. I don't know. There's buttons and shit. Please. Like I need her to hack into this, like to control the T-Rex.
Lex, you have a brief flashback to the time that you tried to help Riley set up her HD TV. It ended up with a hole in the wall and the television and an awkward conversation at Best Buy.
I think I kind of do the same thing that I did back then, where first I try and hack into the system that she's on, and I like get the diagram, I get like all the circuitry and the wiring for it, and I send it to her, and I'm like, yeah, just look at this, it's all in there. And then of course she's like, what do I do with this? So then I read it, and I'm like, no, it's really simple. So then I just communicate to her the controls. I mean, if you really want me to try and control it, I could, but I think maybe I even like rewire some things, So the joysticks, it's just point and fire. Right.
Okay. So you're walking Riley through like how to take off the panel and what wires to connect and stuff. Okay. Cool. So you do that, and I think at that point, Riley, you wheel the Tyrannosaurus around just in time to see these lizards kind of like running up the pile of debris and leaping through the air towards Hemlock, and we'll find out how how you rush to her aid, or if you do, when we get back. We'll take a short break and come back, and we'll pick up issue number 2 of Masks One Shot when we get back. Stick around.